Hello, sixth graders. Today we're going to be talking about calculating tax. I'm not in there today because I am out with the flu, but I'm hoping today that you will be able to watch this video and still be able to understand what's going on. So forgive me, but I can't remember what pages we were on. I think we were on pages 9 and 10 last week. If not, then we're on pages 7 and 8. But all we're going to do is add on to the notes that we took about tax, discount, and tips. And so make sure that you're on those 2 pages, and if you can, help the guest teacher manage that with you guys. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with a warm-up question. And you're going to do this on, if it is page 9 and 10, you're going to do this on page 9. If it's page 7 and 8, you're going to do it on page 7. But I want you to kind of warm yourselves up with this first. So Mrs. Wolf bought a new sweater for her husband. The original price is $43, but the sweater was on sale for 30% off. Find the sale price. So look back at your notes, work together as a group. You guys got about 3 minutes to figure this out. So now that your 3 minutes is up, if you take a look, here's your answers here. So what I did is I set up my line equal sign, and then I did a strategy that a lot of you tend to use. So we changed our percent into a decimal. And we found out what that fractional part, or that decimal part of the whole number was. And then we just took our original price, we subtracted what our discount was, and that's what our final cost is going to be. Now today, the extra piece that we're adding on is what happens if you have to pay sales tax on top of that. Now remember, I told you guys that there are things in Minnesota that you have to pay sales tax on and things that you don't have to pay sales tax on. But let's just pretend, for the sake of understanding this concept, that we're just going to tax anything, just so we can kind of learn how this is kind of calculated and worked out. So you're adding to your notes on page 10, if I remember correctly. If not, you're adding them on page 8. And here's the thing, if you don't have a lot of room, just make the best that you possibly can. So if that means that you have to add it on to page 8 or page 6, otherwise, if you want to put it on page 9 but kind of bubble around it, whatever works best for you. But what happens when you have to pay sales tax? So the first thing you always want to do is you need to find your discount, which a lot of you are really good at doing, and then you find your sale price by subtracting your discount from the original price. So this part is just exactly what we just did in our warm-up. Now here's a part that changes. Now what you have to do is you got to find this tax on that sale price. So it's kind of like repeating what you did for that first step, but now your sale price is the number in the denominator. And then what you have to do is you have to add that tax to the sale price. So you subtracted your discount from your sale price, from your original price, to find your sale price, but now you got to add the tax onto it. So it's essentially what it's like is you're doing your first set of equivalent fractions, finding the cost, and then you're doing a second set of equivalent fractions, but instead of subtracting, this time you add it. So let's go through an example together, and you can put this again on page 9 or page 10, whatever makes best sense in your notes. Just adjust accordingly. So we have Walmart. So Walmart's got a sale on Steph Curry jerseys. The original price of the jersey is $49, but it's on sale for 40% off. And then there's a sales tax of 7.5% that we have to pay on the jersey. So now we got to find the total cost. So first we'll find our discount. So if you want to type this, write this work down and type this in your calculator so you can do this work with me, you can. So we found our discount, which all of you can do really well. You can set that up, you divide, you figure it out from there. You do a really nice job with that. And then the next piece that I know you're really strong with is finding your sale price. Now notice here how I didn't just say 19.6, the answer is 29.4, because we're talking in terms of money. And so we have to make sure that we have money in the hundreds place. So your sale price is now $29.40. But like I said, we need to find the tax cost on that. So then what you got to do is you need to find the tax on the sale price. So notice how this is set up very similar. And what I did is I put 7.5% up there, and yes, it's okay in this case to have the 7.5%. I know I've told you we don't want decimals in our fractions, but in the case of what we have set up here, it's okay. But notice here my total now was the sale price from before. So it's no longer $49, now it's my new part. And so I took care of all that, and I found out what my tax amount is. And then your final piece is you need to add that. So notice here when I add, I get 31.605. Now, money is never into the thousands. Yes, you might see it at a gas station advertised there, but it's never in the thousands. If a cashier told me I owe them $31.605, I'll look at them like they're crazy. So you need to round. So we round to the nearest hundredths place. So I found my number, which is 0, which is in the hundredths place. I look next door, it's 5, meaning that has to change to a 1. So that's why it becomes $31.61. So get whatever information that you need. And then when you finish up with this, you'll just have some work time. So if you need to, ask the guest teacher to replay this video for you guys. Go over it again if you need to. But today, essentially, you're just you're doing the same thing over and over in just different iterations with different numbers. So good luck, and I will hopefully be back Wednesday to help you guys out if you have any questions.